All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to girl insults Andrew claiming he doesn't love his children. Wow, let's jump in.
Choice to just start your OnlyFans, knowing the entailment being the relationship with your parents is irreparably damaged. It's over, like for life. Would you still do it?
It depends, because right now I know the joy this job brings me, and so I can't put myself in that headspace that I was when I was 18.
How about this? What if
wait a second. That makes no sense. So, if it is the case they don't want you to do OnlyFans, and then you're going to do OnlyFans, but then they say they're going to disown you, and you're still going to do OnlyFans, why would it be a problem? Because it's the same result either way, right?
Say that again. Sorry, you were laughing a bit too much.
If it is the case that if they give you an ultimatum, you would do OnlyFans, but you're going to do OnlyFans without the ultimatum, then what do they lose by giving you the ultimatum?
I just meant in the sense of like, well, my parents then lose me if they give me this ultimatum. They lose contact with me.
So the idea here is, if they give you an ultimatum for behavior, that you're not going to talk to them again, so they have to concede to your behavioral standards.
I feel like I think I'm confused.
Don't end. Brian was about to just jump in. Don't, bro.
Standard for a person. If you do X, I don't want to be a part of your life, right? This is bad from my view. Like, I don't know, murder, let's say, something like this. If it were the case that I gave them the ultimatum, and then they went and did the activity anyway, versus I did not give them the ultimatum, and then they still went and did the activity, what the hell do I lose by giving them the ultimatum? It sounds like giving them the ultimatum at least shows them where it is that you stand. You know what I mean?
No, because then if you gave me the ultimatum, then we say, like, you and my dad, we never talked again, so then you would never get contact with me.
Well, right, that would be you saying the behavioral standards of me you need to accept, versus them saying the behavioral standards I have you need to accept. So basically, you're just usurping behavioral standards from your parents, right? You're saying you need to either concede to my behavior or else. So it's actually you giving the ultimatum.
No, but at the end of the day, it's my career, it's my life, it's my job. This is a choice I get to make. It's, it's not down to my parents.
It's a choice you get to make, but you're saying if you don't agree with the choice, get the fuck out of here.
That's definitely...
You can't choose who your children are, right? They turn out like... You can pick and choose who your babies are. Like your job as a parent is to protect them and to love them. And if you could eat, meeny, miny, mo, and pick your perfect child every time...
No, that's not the job of a parent.
I'm sorry. I think unconditional love is very important when raising children.
No, what did I tell you in the last episode, guys? She's ready for a fight. Did she bring her? She did bring her what? The gloves. And the reason she's in that position, right? Because what Andrew's saying is hurting her so much that the only way she can cope about this is by fighting back. That's why she's getting so defensive. The reason they're pushing back against what Andrew's saying is because it hurts, guys. It hurts.
No, I dispute that this is the job of a parent. I think one aspect of parenting would be to protect your child and to love your child. But love has many facilitations as to what that means. I think that holding standards for behavior is part of love, and I think boundaries is part of love. I think that
100%.
I think that holding standards for behavior is part of loving somebody. The idea that if you love me, I can do whatever the fuck I want, regardless of your beliefs, to me is insane. That's the opposite of love to me.
But I think because my parents love me so much, they would way rather see me in a job I enjoy than, something I would hate and it'd make my life miserable and, it'd make me depressed. They would way rather.
Love, though?
Pardon?
Right. Here's what I mean. I'm thinking in my head, if you were going to do something which was against my standards as my kid, right, for behavior.
But my parents never laid down that law. That wasn't my standards.
I understand in your situation this may be different. You did kind of make it sound like they did. But anyway, that aside, if it is the case that I'm like, this behavioral standard is unacceptable to me, and they're like, well, I'm going to do it anyway, and you can either fucking deal with it or not, right? Then it's like, well, yeah, there's an ultimatum, I guess, on my side, but there's also an ultimatum on theirs, right? So the thing is from my view, though, shouldn't a parent kind of hold the line? Shouldn't the parent be like, no, this behavior, nonsense, needs to stop. Fuck that. It's damaging to you. It's damaging to society, and I'm not going to indulge in any of it. Like, how's that not love?
But you're
how's it love to just be like, do whatever the fuck you want? That doesn't sound like love.
The thing is, though, parents are there to guide them, not just absolutely abandon them, you know, and things like that.
Well, that would be the kid abandoning the parents.
No, because if
saying,
the parents are giving them an alternate
standard, and the kid is saying, but I'm not going to adhere to it, and unless you do, I'm not going to deal with you anymore. Isn't that the kid abandoning the parent?
I don't believe so.
Well, no, because no one really asked to be born. You know, like, we're all just...
That's like, I can just say, well, I didn't ask to be a parent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But whether you ask for it or not, it is the case you're the parent.
Yo, that's a nihilistic way of thinking, man, right? Like, I didn't ask to be born. Like, there's so much hatred in that comment. It's simply stating that you despise humanity in yourself, right? Because you despise yourself, and you just full of hate. What a comment, man.
Whether you asked to be born or not, it is the case you were born. But it just seems to me like the responsibility, putting all the responsibility, especially if you're an adult, on your parents, right?
Yeah, it's always
like,
the parents'
if you want a relationship with me, I'm not going to adhere to your behavioral standards, or else.
Oh my God, she's going through it, bro.
I'm not going to adhere to your behavioral standards, or else. How do you not have culpability for this supposed abandonment, right?
But the thing is, you're an 18-year-old, you're an adult. Like, your parents can't give you an ultimatum and tell you exactly what to do at that age.
Yeah, they can. They can give you an ultimatum for the restrictions of the relationship they're willing to have with you based on behavior, of course. Like, if a parent said, as long as you're out being a serial killer, I'm not going to have anything to do with you.
This is not murder.
I'm not saying it's murder.
Don't compare it to.
Hey, stop. I'm not saying it's murder. What I am saying
she's getting triggered. Trigger, look at
that.
I'm not saying it's murder.
Don't compare it to.
No, don't compare it to, you know.
I'm not saying it's murder. What I am saying is that they have
and just getting to her.
To say, if you're engaged in this X behavior, I find abhorrent. I'm using murder because it's easy to understand, right? I'm not going to have anything to do with you. Nobody would blame them.
But I think that would make them a bad parent if they just abandon them like that.
I think it makes you a bad kid to give an ultimatum for abandonment.
The kid isn't the one giving the ultimatum, though.
The kid is, actually. The kid is saying, I'm not going to conform to the behavioral standards.
Or I'm not going to conform to your views.
If you want me in your life,
these people have parenting issues, man. Listen, I understand people can go through a lot, right? We all go through a lot. But what you're doing is when you're blaming your parent for your choices, you're not allowing yourself to take accountability, and you're making decisions like this because inside your mind you're thinking, it's always gonna be because my parents' fault. It was always my parents' fault. That's why I'm here. So you're using that cope to feel good about yourself. You see? By using their parent, they're basically coping. And they're not noticing that a lot of these behaviors is just self-inflicted. That's simply self-inflicted. By then using a lot of their parents as an excuse to make bad choices, I cannot see. Especially this one right here, the Canadian one. Like, she has problems, man. She snaps. She's giving a lot of sassy attitude. She pimped her friend. I think it was the last episode. Like, she has a lot of problems.
See to my behavioral standards. That is actually an ultimatum.
But it's just like a agree to disagree of their views. Like, the kid thinks that's totally fine to do, and the parent doesn't. Right.
So the thing is here is if the parent says this is not right, the problem I have here is that the counterclaim is, well, then you don't really love them.
Yeah.
It's like, that seems stupid to me. It seems like, yes, you can definitely really love a person and not agree at all with the behavior.
So you'd never talk to your kid again if they did sex work.
Anything to do with them until the behavior changes. Why is that even bad?
So if you had a child and
there we go.
I have
Sorry, I don't know your background or family situation.
No, go ahead. So you can ask the question. Go ahead.
And, you know, she turned 18 and decided that she was going to take this route in life and do OnlyFans. Are you then giving them an ultimatum and saying, I'm not talking to you again if you're going to do this?
I think that me saying you're not conforming to behavioral standards that I find acceptable.
You're not welcome.
And you can either do that and have a relationship with me or not is the same exact thing they're saying to me. So I think they would be saying the same thing to me that I'm saying to them. So this seems mutual to me. Or like both parties are giving this ultimatum. It's not just you, it's not just them. So if that's the case, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. If one of my kids said to me, I'm going to go off and be a prostitute, I'd say, well, here's the thing. I will always love you. There's nothing I can even do about that. If I wanted to, right? I'll still always love my children. But that doesn't mean that I'm ever going to...
You will never have my blessing.
...to support any of these behaviors. And until these behaviors stop, I'm not going to enable them.
So you wouldn't ever talk to your kid or anything like that?
Yeah, there's no blessing. You do whatever you want. You're an adult, right? But you don't have my blessing, and you and I, we're not going to talk again. And whatever happens after that, it was going to hurt me as a parent. But at that point, you have all the kids as well. In my case, one of my kids to do something like this, I have all the kids too. I have to save them, right? I have to reflect. I'm not going to be allowing this new 3 or 4 to just damage my entire reputation, damage my family's dynamic. At that point, you make that decision. That's it. That's it. I will always love you, but you don't have my blessing. But they don't want to accept that. See? They don't want to accept that.
Christmas dinner.
What's that?
So will your gay or prostitute kid be at Christmas dinner?
No.
But I personally deem that as like a bad parent if you're just going to abandon your kid.
Like a bad kid. Because the kid...
Not really, because they're not doing anything wrong. Doing sex work isn't
wrong. We got to that point that sex work is not wrong, guys.
What is the parent doing wrong, then, by this metric? What are they doing that's wrong?
Abandoning their child.
That's not abandonment of a child.
Yes, it is. If you're not talking to them anymore, you won't see them. It's abandonment.
If you're 18 years old...
Okay, well, cutting off a relationship, whatever you want to call it.
If you're 18 years old, how the fuck are you abandoning a child?
Okay, well, you're cutting off all relationships then.
Yeah, so what? Why is that wrong? Don't you put off relationships with people based on behavioral standards?
Not when they're my family and my parents.
Why not?
Because they're family. What do you mean? I would never not talk to my parents. It doesn't matter what they do.
What would make it wrong for you?
My parents could kill someone, I'd still talk to them.
Based on behavior. Why would that even be wrong? Why would that even be a problem?
Because family, it's not all about like right and wrong. You know, you love each other.
Unconditional.
Yeah, exactly.
Unconditional, yeah, right.
What do you mean?
Tell to the wife to leave their husbands during the divorce. Tell them. Is that unconditional? That's family. She's just thinking unconditionally about the love of the husband when she divorces 80% of the time. Like, come on, guys.
Unconditionally.
Yeah. Have you ever had unconditional love? Do you know what that feels like?
Yeah, let's say you love them unconditionally. You haven't demonstrated this person doesn't love you. You've only demonstrated
cutting them off means that
hang on. You haven't demonstrated they don't love you. You've only demonstrated they won't give in to your behavioral standard. That's it. They still love you.
I think we're just going circles in this.
Nah, we're not.
Because agree to disagree.
No. We're not going circle here. We're getting to the bottom of this. And Andrew's doing a very good job in tackling this. This is very important, guys.
I think it's unloving that you won't conform to their behavioral standards.
Well, because I won't stop. Like what?
Because you demand that they accept.
my parents. My personal parents don't demand I stop porn. So that's.
So let me ask you a question, Lily. If you go off and you do corn, you still love your parents?
Yes.
Okay, so why would it be the case that if your parents stopped talking to you because you went off and did corn, that meant they stopped loving you?
Wait, take that back. So if I did corn, I still love my parents. Is that the question? I do porn and I love my parents,
So why would your parents stop loving you just because you did corn, even if they stopped having a relationship with you?
I'm not talking about my personal parents aren't like this. But you're saying basically you would abandon your child, and I think I personally deem that you don't love your child.
Man, lady, you're above 18. The argument's above 18. You're not a child. You are an adult.
We'll never speak to them or see them again because they do porn.
Old, are they still a child?
Pardon?
If they're 35 years old, are they still a child?
Oh, your child, your kid, whatever you want to call them.
Final point on this.
So here's the thing.
There we go. Andrew's about to just knock her out of the park, and Brian just come in. I don't know. Why are you doing that, man? We're getting to the point.
Keep on saying you're abandoning your child as though this is a 3-year-old.
Oh, sorry.
Right?
I'm using the wrong terminology. My parents still call me a child because
there's no abandonment, Lily. You're not abandoning.
Well,
you're saying until you conform. What terminology
would you like me to use for someone your child? As your child. Then, if you don't want me to use the word child.
Yeah, but the reason that you're saying child is because you're infantilizing it.
Yep.
What word would you like me to say?
How about this then? How about this? Use the terminology "your adult child."
Okay.
See how that sounds?
So
you're abandoning you by having a behavioral standard for your adult child. Are abandoning your adult child. Say that out loud.
So you're abandoning your adult child because they do porn, so you don't love them anymore.
That means you don't love them anymore.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that the kid stops loving them because they won't conform to their behavior.
He's using because you're saying we are going around circle because he's basically throwing it back at you, and you're not ready for it. These are things that she basically just went through years of creating this belief system that, again, guys, like I said in the beginning, I'm making these kind of behaviors, and if my parents don't love me or don't agree with it, it means that they don't love me. And because they don't love me, they're never gonna understand it. You see what I'm saying? Well, that doesn't work like that. If you make if you go through certain lifestyle, your family is not obligated anymore to just conform with that lifestyle. It's your decision. You're an adult. So you have to die with that sword.
Because we're going to agree to disagree. I believe that if you were to abandon your child because they did porn, that you don't love them anymore.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Just one last question before Brian wraps this up. Is it, at least from your view, possible that a parent can absolutely love their child and still cut off contact with them based on behavior?
I personally don't think that would be loving. No, I think if you choose to be a parent,
if you were a PDF file,
I think if you choose to be a parent, you love that kid till it dies. Depending on what it does.
No wonder single moms are the worst when it comes down to parenting. Like, this is why single moms are not good at parenting. These are why women are not good at parenting. Doesn't matter what your kid does, she's still gonna find her kid as her child. So now it doesn't matter what kind of behavior, I still have to love my kid. It's not the kid's fault. Lady, you're the reason. This kind of ideology is the reason why we're in this position that we are. You're not holding even yourself accountable. What you're doing is wrong, and your parents are not to be okay with it. And you have to be okay. Own it. Why not own it? Why not own the fact that by you doing corn, that might be the family has to disown you. You know how much shame you bring into the family, but you don't want to own that. See, that's the problem. We don't want to own that, and you want everybody here in this panel to just go at the same place and the same hell. I mean, this is crazy, guys.
Listen, I literally conceded the love thing. I'm asking you this question.
Well, I think you stand by your child.
Even if they're PDF files?
I don't know what PDF files means.
Oh, yeah.
Kid.
You go after a kid?
A nonce.
My parents have always said, even if I kill someone, they would still stand by me.
So you would stand by, you think that a good parent stands by their kid even if they're PDF files?
They still love them and talk to them.
Oh my God,
I didn't say anything about love.
Well, they'd still talk to them. They won't cut off contact now.
You can still love your kid, but that doesn't mean you have to accept the
they would still keep contact with them. That's what I'm trying to say.
Why do they need to keep contact with them?
What? Because they're their child and they have chosen to be a parent. At the end of the day, like, we can go around in circles about this.
All right, last question. All right, I lied. Okay, so last question.
This has to be the last. It has to be the last.
You're right. Shut up, man. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like, I know, like, bro, come on.
Could you conceive of having a boyfriend or an ex-husband?
What does conceive mean?
Hold on, let him finish. Who
still
she's blondie. She don't even need conceive, man. She's blondie, bro.
But stops talking to you.
What does conceive mean?
No, now she's using.
Like,
Now she's now she's using shine. No. Not she being completely disingenuous. She's asking a question with a question. That's like all sell tactic, you know.
Maybe.
Can you think that it's possible that there could be an ex-husband or boyfriend who is still in love with a woman but stops talking to her?
Yes, but that is so different. That's so different. The relationship is so different.
People, even if you cut
yes, but that type of relationship is so different.
I see, but it is possible to cut off contact with people instantly.
Oh my God! But that type of relationship is very different.
So what about
Listen
the fact
to me.
That my sperm made you makes it so that it's suddenly not love. But if my sperm didn't make you, I still could love you. What part of that actually makes sense?
Do you want to keep talking and going around in circles?
Yes.
It's so. I bet it's so.
There we go. Ryan, that's what you need to do. You see how she just now in a position she can answer. Her reality is being confronted, guys. This is why you don't do it. Let the master build the art. Let the master build the art and create the art, guys. Let the master create the art. This is why, right here at the end, you see how we just going to circle. No, we're not going to circle. We're going to get a bottom to this. This is why you do it. This is why you don't say that. You don't say, well, last question. No, you don't do that. And because even right now, I can guarantee you, we go to that comment section. A lot of people don't like that when he does that. And I love the show. I love these clips. I like to just react to it with you guys. But this is the reason you don't do that. You have to let the master work his craft, guys. Create the art. At the end, she's just looking out for help because now she's literally just being confronted. Interesting. Good point, Andrew. Very good. Nice job. Not easy because she's very disingenuous, guys. Very disingenuous. Asking, most of the time when you ask a question with another question, it's just an old sales tactic. There are a lot of salesmen use to make sure they can control the conversation. Andrew changed the word to think to make sure that was not an objection. That's what makes him a master at what he does. Let him do it. She's a person that's influencing a lot of people to do bad things, in my opinion. So you have Andrew here. You don't even know when something like this could happen again. This might be the last time. I always say that because it could be true, guys. Let him confront her and do not defend her. When you say stuff like that, where you say, last point, you're defending her. She can say whatever the hell she wants just to move to the next topic. That's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next one.